episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Little Secrets by Megan Hart. This is from Sam Hain Publishing, and it's the story of pregnant Ginny and her husband Sean, and they move into a new house, and weird things are going on in the house, and Ginny needs to figure out what's happening. And that's pretty much all you need to know going into this story. That's the tightest nutshell I think I've ever had. But that's Little Secrets. And really, this is the story of Ginny. She's our main character. I think she's in every single scene. It's really all from her perspective. And so Megan Hart, I really like the way she writes. Just amazing characters, a lot of character development, a lot of detail going into building this little world of Ginny's, and some really creepy scenes. So great writing style as far as that goes. And I do like that Ms. Hart stays away from a couple of the mysterious house tropes. This isn't a writer moving back to their hometown, or this isn't someone who's inherited an old house from a relative who's passed away. It's just this young couple who are going to have a kid, and they move into a house. They have no attachment to the house. It's not even that isolated. I mean, the neighbors are close enough that the neighbors' kids are always playing in Ginny's yard. So it stays away from those things that we see a lot in this kind of story. I kind of pictured a relatively suburban neighborhood where all of this is going on. So I like that she stayed away from that stuff, and it's something a little bit new, at least as far as the books of this type that I have read. Excuse me. So as I said, the characters are really great. And Ginny is, as I said, she's pregnant. She's had a miscarriage in the past, so we get a lot of how she's dealing with this pregnancy. And of course, a lot of ups and downs in her emotions. So really a lot of character stuff going on with her. I like her husband Sean. He's the kind of guy that is maybe a little overprotective as far as the pregnancy goes. They've moved into this house. He doesn't want Ginny emptying any of the boxes or doing anything. There are some things they want to clean up the house. They want to set up the nursery and put all their stuff out, and there's stuff to be done in the yard, and Sean just does not want Ginny doing any of that. He basically wants her to sit around, protect the baby, the unborn baby. So he promises he's going to do all this stuff, but he doesn't really get around to it. Which, yeah, I know guys like that. Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll mow the lawn, I'll rake the leaves, or I'll empty the boxes and put everything where it needs to be. And yet, he does have a job and he's going to school, and so he's that kind of guy, just doesn't always get around to everything. So I like him. We're introduced to one of the neighbors and her kids. I like her, Ginny's sister, other people, and they're well done characters, which of course is very important to me. As I said, there are some creepy scenes, because again, mysterious things happening in this house. But that does lead into the major problem that I have with this story. And, you have books that are a slow burn, and then you have this, which just, for the longest time, as far as the suspense horror part of the story, nothing goes on. It's a lot of Ginny doing domestic stuff, and she hears a noise. and then a lot more of Ginny doing domestic stuff, and her favorite coffee mug disappears. And then a lot more of Ginny doing domestic stuff, and then she sees a shadow move. So much of that, too much of that going on. Um, I've relatively recently reviewed some novellas that I said might have benefited from being a little longer. This might have benefited from being a little shorter, and it's not a long book. It's about 264 pages, I think. I just checked earlier. Um, so I think it would have benefited from either tightening it up, um, and not having so much of these little teases that eventually pay off, but it's too much. Um, Either tighten that up, or um, maybe give us a little more of that and less of the domestic, because there's a lot of domestic stuff. And it's not boring because it's well written and the characters are interesting. So it doesn't get boring, but it feels for the longest time like it's not going anywhere, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, once it does, especially the last 30 pages, when we get to that big ending, I loved it. It's a great payoff. Just not sure the path to getting there is completely worth it. Um, but I really love the ending of this once we know everything and it all comes to a head. It's great in my opinion. And there's actually, aside from the obvious clues, for lack of a better term, there's actually um, a very subtle hint. Maybe I shouldn't say that. For some people, then they start looking for it, and it might give away what's going on. But um, once I got to the end, I thought back and said, "Oh, I see now that thing was actually a little. Hey, this is where this story's going." Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I like that. I like that little seed um, that grew into a great ending. So overall, I think it's a story worth reading. Again, just fantastic writing style, wonderful characters, uh, and the little secrets aren't just about the house, because there are some secrets about the house, and Ginny will discover what those are. There is a tragic past that she learns of in the house. But it's not just the house that has little secrets. Sean and Ginny have little secrets of their own, and we learn what those are, and how it's going to affect their relationship. And it is I think, a very realistic relationship, um, because they both have their own things going on, and they do love each other, but they just sometimes they're not connecting, and there's clashes, and they see the pregnancy in different ways. Ginny seems to, I don't think I'm giving anything away here. Ginny seems to have a more positive outlook. She's sure that everything's going to be fine despite the miscarriage that she had. Um, she doesn't think that's going to inform this pregnancy, whereas Sean is seems much more overprotective, really is concerned that this pregnancy is going to turn out like the last one. Um, and so they clash over that. Uh, so um, that's good writing. That's just good writing right there, as far as the relationships and the characters go. There are some false scares, in my opinion, kind of cheap. Uh, if this were a movie, they would be jump scares. But there are some genuinely creepy scenes. Uh, there's a scene with a Ouija board that I really like. Um, and so overall, it's a good story. just takes a little too long to get to the meat, I suppose. So my rating, and as always, this does have something to do with the story. I give Little Secrets by Megan Hart. I give it 3 out of 5 little girls' diaries. Because I'm not giving anything away. There's a point when Ginny's cleaning, she finds a box full of stuff. One of the things in there is a little girl's diary. So it was tough to come up with something just because of the nature of the story. Um, because it's so much of a mystery up until the end. I had to be careful I didn't do anything that was going to give away. So I think just a little girl's diary, 3 out of 5. Fantastic writing. Just a little too much of nothing at the beginning of for the first half at least. I think is just a lot of that repetitive domestic stuff. Here's a little something. Domestic stuff. Here's a little something. And that really didn't. It just seemed to go on too long. That part of it. So really, that's it for Little Secrets by Megan Hart. A decent book. It's the good stuff outweighs the bad. So I guess that's it. So please, if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, put them in the comments down below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will have links for the book in the description below. A couple places where you can pick it up if you're interested. So that's it. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.